35 years ago, the hillbillies are back. Peacemaker's daddy gave this alien the old bye-bye turn it off, and that's how they find this quantum unfolding chamber. It's good to see this whole team is working so well together once again. This has gotta be a group of absolute clowns at its finest. Name calling is the only way they can get through anybody. I'm glad to see Gunboy makes everybody a damn joke in this show, it seems. The one thing is, she told everybody to
shut the fuck up, all of you!
John is the only good guy here who tries to actually warn Cena Boy. Now they're about to raid the house, and of course the girl boss gotta lead the charge. You can't do anything unless a woman is in charge. Or at least for these clowns, because they don't know how to do shit. Cena Boy gets the text and it's all screwed up English, but he can at least read it. So he's not a complete joke after all. Him and Eagly try to get out of there, and Chris has to get Eagly out with some damn baloney! Now Argus is really raiding their house, and all he could think about was this meme right here. Mary Poppins boy just has to eat the eagle's droppings. And I was like, you nasty motherfucker. Was it necessary? I don't think so. You just had to be nasty for the sake of being nasty. Cena Boy gets hit by Cheeto Lover, and oh boy, he's going hard. Homie has to do some WWE with him, and boom, homie got crushed by Cena. Somebody had to squash that little boy's ego. Lizzo gets a magazine and she's starting her job doing security consulting. Well, at least she's doing something instead of absolutely nothing with her life. Then Cena texts her to pick him up right away. Yeah, he definitely needs some help. John hits Mary Poppins way too hard, and now he's just fabricating a story about a second eagle now. Then he goes full loony about this being some main eagle, and this was basically his life purpose, I guess. And obviously he wants to make the eagle go bye-bye turn it off, it seems. Chris gets picked up by Lizzo, and he's got to move that portal somewhere else. Girl boss thinks she doesn't get paid enough to deal with John's shit, and he's like, yeah you do, you gotta take it like a man. John gets pissed after he gets called a ginger cooligan, and he spits on the bird blindness dude. And that was extremely satisfying. I love that part. It was fully deserved. No ifs, ands, or buts. It was perfect. This guy deserved to get spit on. It's kind of funny, but I personally don't think people deserve to get spit on. But at a point, this guy became so stupid that I was like, yes, please, something just happened to him. And he totally deserved it because he was just basically being a dick the entire time. Like burn blindness, dude. Like, come on. Lee and Chris talk about moving the portal, and he basically says his dad was too much of an idiot to create this portal. And Lee asks how the helmets were made, and he's like, yeah, that's an interesting one. So I guess we didn't get to know how the helmets were made just yet, but I'm sure that's coming in future episodes. John calls to say he almost killed the Mary Poppins to save Eagly, and that he's stalling these Argus clowns before they open that portal up. Lizzo and Cena talk about the portal and how 6 months ago Eagly went to the other dimension door, and that's how he encountered the awesomer dimension compared to this one, because obviously the one he's in sucks ass. They gotta go to the cabin in the woods, and he's gotta find a doorway to place the portal. And then you got John stalling from opening the door at Cena Boy's place so that he can transfer the portal to that place. I think overall John became just one of these better characters in the show, right beside Cena Boy. He just became very likable, and he actually gives a shit about his buddies. And you know what? That's hard to find these days. It really is. But I'm glad Gunboy made his character quite enjoyable, to be honest. John keeps stalling, and everyone just wants him to open the damn door. And at least he's trying to some degree. Cena places the portal in the doorway, and they book it out of the cabin, and boom! A shockwave. And it worked. The transfer was complete. It was good to see John was very happy about that, and the smile on his face was priceless. I will say they did a great job at making this intense. It's definitely a series you don't know exactly what the fuck will happen most of the time. It's just one of those shows. You're like, will this happen or will this not? So it always keeps you guessing to some degree, and I think Gunn did a good job of that. James Gunn's masculine wife is back, beating up a dude for fun, and of course they added the fruitcake beer. You just know Bud Light had to pay these homies a lot to get people to drink their trash. And why did they have to make her beat up a dude again? Was it completely necessary? Or does Gunn get off seeing his wife beat men? At least the transition from the teeth into the sink was pretty cool. Rick Flag Sr. is at Gunn's wife's place, and she's like, want some coffee at 12 p.m.? He's like, yeah, no problem. He tells her she's being blacklisted from serving in any of these agencies, but Frank Grillo ain't there for small talk. He just wants her to go and get Peacemaker for him. Chris tells Lee that the magazine is a scam and that putting an ad in there was a terrible idea. Then she questions if there was another him in that dimension, and he says,
You killed your own self from a parallel dimension?
Self-defense.
And him and Gunn's wife being getting it on in that dimension. And Lee's reaction was good. At least she knows that this is also fucked up. Cena Boy tells Lee that he wants to go back to that dimension because he enjoys it. And yeah, he is wearing some weird ass clothes. At least she gives him a heart-to-heart, but then he tells her that this dimension sucks ass and he'd rather go in that other dimension. And I honestly don't blame him. Like, this dimension sucks ass for him. He's absolutely hated. And it doesn't make a whole lot of sense overall. Sure, he's done some bad stuff, but at the end of the day, he'd like to do some good as well. Vigilante shows up and he's got the doors and hinges. Chris messages Gunn's wife and wants to meet up, even though she needs to take him in so she can get off that blacklist. And Grillo Boy is like, yeah, you're doing the right thing. Mary Poppins Boy goes full on weirdo in the bush, and I'm surprised he didn't get fully nude because Gunn loves that shit. And now he's pouring blood everywhere in the shape of an eagle. Homie's third eye fully opened, it seems. He's clearly up to no good. Then he follows eagerly in this weird assery way. For a moment there I was like, what the shit is this? Like, what is going on here? But I guess he's just connecting to spirit. And he's going within himself to open his third eye. It's just a good time, I guess. Gunn's wife and the Argus team wait for Chris Boy, and that's the end of the episode. I personally thought this was an okay episode. It's not overly amazing by any means. It's basically just an episode for characters to react to what the audience already knows. That's basically what it does overall. And then we get to see Mary Poppins dude doing some weird ass shit. Is the episode enjoyable? I did enjoy my time. I don't think this episode was nearly as good as the previous episode, but obviously it does serve a purpose. I think it would have been a little more interesting if they had some more action at the end there. But, oh well, you left it on a cliffhanger. So we'll see what happens, I guess, in the next episode. Maybe Chris Boy will just turn around and go home. Let me know your thoughts on, is this show good? Is it getting better? Is it absolute crap? You see Gun Boy's friend dancing here? Why not dance your way to subscribe and watch more videos here?